1977, an ordinary house in the Enfield area of North London. Peggy Hodgson lived in this small, old house with her 4 children. Their lives were simple. They were poor, but they were peaceful. Until that night, new moon the first night, the knocking sounds. Around 11 p.m. on August 30, everyone in the house was getting ready to sleep. Suddenly, a strange sound came from the wall. Knock, knock, knock. First, Peggy ignored it. She thought it was normal for an old house. But the sounds continued. The walls, the ceiling, the cupboards. It felt as if someone was walking inside the house, yet unseen. Then one of the children screamed, "Mom, my bed is moving." Peggy ran to the room, and what she saw changed her life forever. The bed was shaking on its own. The objects began to move. At first, everyone thought it was just the children playing a prank. But the events escalated. Chairs began sliding on their own. Toys were thrown into the air. Knocking sounds came from the walls. Doors opened and closed by themselves. One night, Peggy was in the kitchen when a chair suddenly slid quickly behind her. When she turned around, no one was there. The house felt alive. Girl Janet, the center of it all. Janet, the family's 11-year-old daughter. She was at the center of everything. One night, when her mother entered the room, Janet's bed had risen into the air. The girl was screaming. Then something even more terrifying happened. Janet began to speak, but not in her own voice. In a deep old man's voice. "I am here. This house is mine." It introduced itself as a dead man named Bill. It was said that this man had died in that house years before. Camera with flash media and investigators arrive. The events became so intense that the media arrived. Journalists, photographers, paranormal investigators. Photographs were published showing Janet floating above her bed. Paranormal investigators stayed in the house for days. Some claimed they witnessed objects truly moving on their own. Hundreds of hours of audio recordings were captured inside the house. On the recordings, they heard knocking sounds, whispers, a man's voice speaking, fearful face the most terrifying night. One night, everyone in the house was asleep. Suddenly, Janet screamed. When they rushed into the room, they said, she appeared to be pressed against the wall. Then she was dragged across the room by something invisible. Mother Peggy was crying. The investigators were in shock. No one could explain it, real or fake. Years later, Janet admitted that some events had been pranks. But she also said, not everything was fake. Some things really happened. Researchers are still divided. Some say this is the best documented paranormal case in history. Others believe the children and media exaggerated the story. But one fact remains. What happened in that house has never been fully explained. Clapperboard dark ending. Today, that house still stands. It has new owners. But neighbors say that even now, sometimes at night, they still hear strange sounds.